Well, I need to welcome you back, and we'll see what the big story for today. And we're talking about insecurity and the recent request by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the Senate to confirm the service chief that were appointed on the 19th day of June. As much as we're looking at that confirmation by the Senate, which we know, judging by what the Senate president said yesterday, that is going to be done as a whole of the Senate, looking at the various committees have not been set up yet, and knowing how really serious and important security is, and a need for them to do it urgently, so the setting of the committees will not delay. But that's not just where the question lies. The question now lies in, yes, we've had previous service chief under the last administration, and we just had recent ones that have now been put into office. But what approach should they take in dealing with the security challenges is what our next line of questions will be dwelled on. But still remember, we have him here. I'm talking of no other person but Barrister Casey Omarabo, helping us with the discussion as we holistically look at these together. But remember, we'll also get your views, comment, and contribution as we look at what approach should take by these recent service chiefs. And that will be when we'll open up the lines in a very short while, maybe half an hour's time. But for now, let's continue with our discussion. And just like I said, yeah, we've talked greatly on a need, judging by the Constitution, I'm talking about Section 18, subsection 1, for the Senate to do its own job in confirming these service chiefs. But let's leave that. Now, on Monday, just this Monday, 4 police officers were killed by bandits on the Gusau-Sokoto Road in Baguda, local government area of Zamfara State. And just yesterday, the House of Representatives also asked the National Security Advisor, Ribadu, to declare a national emergency in killings in Plateau, and making President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also erupt in anger yesterday when he gave them the order to deal with the culprits. But my question is, what approach should service chief take in dealing with security situation that surrounds the issue of banditry and terrorism? Because you all would agree that the issue of banditry and also terrorism took a very drastic dimension only under the last administration of President Muhammad Buhari. That's when we started hearing about bandits. On the mining, we had pockets of them in the previous administration before his. But they took a frightening dimension. When we saw kidnapped for ransom, we saw schools being ransacked. Children are still, as we speak, in captivity on account of ransom payment. And who will forget the Abuja-Kaduna train saga that dragged long for so long, and the inhumane treatment being mounted to all of these persons. So let's look. What approach should a new service chief take on account of this?
You see, when you are in the family,
yes,
and there's a problem, you try and trace history. What was the beginning of this problem?
Okay.
Those who have had serious problem in the past, how did they solve it? You see, I was a legal advisor to the Niger Delta Liberation Force, headed by General Togo, blessed memory, General in quote. When it was obvious that people were now afraid that even after the Tompola episode they have settled, that another insurrection came up, the government approached us through me. And we went to a meeting in several military battles. I flew from here with the military headquarters to the headquarters of SSS in Abuja. What were they doing? Negotiation. They are not dealing with strangers. Remember, President Goodluck Jonathan flew into the Niger Delta with Governor Dwanga and me. We went to the creek, gate 5. We sat with them. I stood up and said, gentlemen, we have made enough point. We produced the oil. What's offering? Let us now give government a chance to see whether they can right their wrongs. Undermine the fact that this was one of our major demands that is still there now. But I think there was room for negotiation. The president sat in the creek. Nobody shot him. We sat together. We discussed for over 5 hours. And then he left the helicopter. Now, if the approach in Nigerian system is always arrest and kill, arrest and detain, it doesn't work for us. It provokes a lot of issues. If a human rights lawyer is trying to say what is good, you frame him up, sack him up, and then arrest him and try him without you appoint a judge that you jail him because you are not trying him. and then think others are happy? People know what's happening, and they'll be angry, and they will have more. When we kids as Igboro, we never know we're going to have a Tompolo or we're going to have a Sad Dokubo. And how many we look at, never know we're going to have a Taketom.
So what approach should now be taken?
The approach is what I'm saying now. The approach is that we should stop this military approach of arrest, kill, shoot. How many are going to kill?
Are you saying we should now negotiate with the bandits?
Exactly. Do you know why we're going to negotiate? First of all, find out what is the cost of this. Is it money they are really looking for? Is it employment? Is it education?
Yes.
And I don't mind his devil's workshop, so to say. If they are as privileged as me and you sitting here, I'm not sure you will carry gun. I'm not sure I will carry gun. I've never started gun in my life. So, definitely, if they have not this current one now, because they are getting old every day. You don't know, since Obanajo regime, those who were military and that are they still young to run now. They can't run anymore, the police. When they are pursuing an armed robber who is above 30, they don't catch him just now. They are pursuing the one that is 16, it's a sprinter. So if we had started to solve it from Obanajo's regime and begin to say all children in the north must go to school, no more Amajiri, and begin to say not only that they should go to school, most of them be in the boarding house where they be taught the new Western education, the new Eastern education, and they should know the value of life. You will not see them to train them how to carry gun. Imagine old women in the north or somewhere who have no idea they will carry gun before they can go to the farm. Something is wrong somewhere. We should begin to do a new orientation. We should begin to enlighten our people the need to stop violence, to live together as one. And then after that, they will see the sincerity in you, telling them. No, you telling them what you are present on that one. How can a helicopter arrive at our back here in Africa to bring food for different investment? Something's wrong. A helicopter will bring food and then the are very high and bring gun for them. And then nobody saying anything. Who bought the helicopter? Who is it? And you see the NAF. What are they saying? Something's wrong somewhere. So if we begin to fight and fight, we will fight and fight, we'll never win this war. We should begin to ask ourselves, why did we graduate to this position now? So let us see. First of all, is intelligent gathering.
Okay.
The police, the SSS, the DSSS should go into underground intelligent gathering. Before the 4 policemen were killed, it was a spontaneous killing, there was a plan.
Yeah.
At the time they were planning, somebody was able to tell the DPO, CEO, not say them go tomorrow. This is what I hear they say. But that person who told the people be arrested. That's the problem we have in our country. Come and tell us what you say. Religion is replaced. Then you have exposed the poor man. He will not tell anything else now. The whistle blower today of those other people. Is that customer? It's not in printing today. There's something wrong with our system. If we are going to start on the clean slate, let us start to listen to one another. Don't begin. Knowing you are calling a conference, you are going to call, these are not the problem. Call the average market woman, the tout in the street, the illiterate, the cripple, the uninformed. Waiting you now to say the government not do, but we talk them. Then they will feel how that's not belonging that you even recognize them, invite them. Okay, we're electing people to the assembly. How many cripples are there? Yes. How many market women are there? It's always still money are electing. And since people will not be angry, they'll be working continuously. So if we put a quota that the cripples should have that represented in the National Assembly or House of Assembly, then the albino, the blind, the deaf should have representatives who speak for them. Then we're going to have market women, the poor peasant farmers, no farmers who are killing who have poultry. We're talking of peasants in the village who produce the yam that we eat, who produce the cassava, the gari. They have representatives. There will be no war.
Okay, now, yeah, so you feel the carrot and stick approach is the best?
Yes.
Okay, now, let's still talk about insecurity because of time. But rather, look at another different dimension. Also, just yesterday, the Nigerian army destroyed a vessel. With 150,000 liters of stolen crude right here in Delta State. And the Nigerian Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative had revealed that Nigeria lost over 619.7 million barrels of crude valued at over 16.25 trillion naira in the last 12 years.
Honestly, I think this oil should even stop.
I would naturally ask you, what approach should this new service chief take in dealing with this? But my other question is, why over time has crude oil theft flourished? That's number one. And would the destruction of this vessel be the best way to go in cabinet?
Thank you. Why will you destroy what belongs to you? I saw you stole my bottle of beer. I go and bring a bottle and burn it. Is that not madness? What government should have done is to arrest the vessel.
But we always end up having these vessels released at the end.
Thank you. That's what I'm telling you. You don't just arrest, you confiscate it. The law of Obasanjo those days say, just catch and kill and burn them. Why burning them? Convert them into government vessels and use them for government business. We don't have any business again. We don't have other oil that still belong to government. Like we don't have trailer tankers that time we bought in anger when trailer tankers were on strike. Well, we had to paint it with Nigerian flag. What are they? I think there's still madness in those who are operating those things. So if instead of destroying what you said, your property have destroyed the soil and you now put it on fire, I don't know what you want to say there. Why not confiscate that vessel, confiscate whatever is in it, arrest the crew, though the crew are poor people who are just employed, they don't even know it's still or not to, they are looking for sailors employed. Then please be wise enough to interrogate them without torturing them. The problem is that when a man arrests you, he knows the truth, but they say he never torture, I go torture him. The guy knows say you brought him here like this, and he's still very fine. I should have called him with the bottle, Tom Potter with all his nose bent. That's every day. You know, the man you are arresting, at the point of arrest, he's already guilty, he's afraid. So do you need to slap him before he can talk to you? Do you need to use electric to prod him? You need to put the stove under his penis? I think there's a problem we have. You need to use a light can to burn his genitals. You already kill him before you try him. And again, because you haven't done to the man, I don't go into that.
Okay.
So now, what I'm saying is that if there's a crime reported, whether in the high seas or in territorial waters, our littoral states, that oil is being stolen and is crossing, and then we have what we call the water police, we also call marine police. We have the navy. There is no even really their job. So all other person will have in the waters. By the time they investigate, before we arrest, you know, there was nothing in this country, I must tell you. In other countries, they don't arrest until after investigation. But we investigate, we arrest them for investigate. And then when we find out that they're not getting part of something, that's why people are angry, that's why they're fighting. If there's information that this man has a vessel that's going to steal crude oil next week and it's coming from South Africa, as intelligence will go to South Africa and see the owner, the company, the charter party who is leasing it, and what destination is this coming to Africa, where is Africa is coming to Nigeria, and which Nigeria, where is it going to start in Lokoja, or going to Warri, going to Port Harcourt port? They will investigate them without
do we have the resources to do
we that? We do. And Nigerians are one of our brothers the best. I'm telling you, go and check the American Navy. Nigerians are the ones selling there. The other policemen go to Scotland Yard.
But is it not because they have the technology?
We also have
and the resources.
The problem is that like one man said that when they manufactured a machine in Japan to catch thief, when it got to America, it caught all the thieves. When it got to US, when it got to UK, they caught some. When it got to Nigeria, the machine was stolen. So
come on, man. Come with it. But somewhere, but let's leave that now. But let's still remain on why you feel this issue has always.
When you gather enough intelligence, you will do a preventive measure. As the barge enters Nigerian territorial waters, you will intercede them, not arrest them. You ask them to bring all their papers. And what destination? They say they are going to Warri port, they are going to the jetty to load. Load what? Crude oil. And let me see the papers. This paper may be fake or real. Don't start calling the arm robber, this and despite Nigeria. Just look at it and get your screening machine. And then see the address, the phone, and the email on that paper. Get your other men in that stand to find out whether there's a legitimate business between NFPCL and the power plant product marketing company and these people. Even if there is, still be able to find out whether it's a genuine business or the men there are stealing. By the time you have investigated this, remember, when you detain that ship for one day, do marriage, because you had it.
Of course.
So by the time you know this is doubt, reverse it, then to go back. Then if it's genuine, escort it. When you escort it, you put everybody on camera. You are no longer in domain one, or not for you. Everybody see that you're on camera, you are loading, everybody will take off if it's not genuine. Why are we waiting for it to load and go and burn in the ice? That's madness. Are you sure it's already burnt? Discover that the one they bought is the one that's not moving. The one that's really carrying the load.
Okay, well, and we're not going into all of those details, and make it sound so comic. But let's continue with our push in dealing with the issue or approach the new service chiefs will take. Yeah. Well, in case you're joining us, that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the big story. We're talking greatly about insecurity and the recent request from no other but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the confirmation of new service chief. But as much as we're talking about that, we're also looking at the different security challenges we are being confronted as a nation with today, and what approach should naturally follow to really make things look different from how it has been. A departure from the past is what we're having. I will still have no other President Bob Barrister, Casey Omoyarabo with us. Now, let's leave that and come to another major one. You spoke briefly about it, and I want us to now go there. Now, Nigeria has about 1,500 identified land border crossing. Yes. But according to our own findings, we always do deep investigation before we come on air to talk about issues like this. We discovered that almost 114 have approved control posts manned either by the Nigeria Immigration and other security agencies. And funny enough, just last year, the former Chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Erabo, says that out of the 137 out of 261 border in the northeast and northwest are unguarded. That out of the 261, 137 of them are unguarded in the northeast. Well, anyway, it's really a shocking statistics. But which means that we have so much when it comes to challenges around our borders. But now, my question is, how do we now secure these borders? Okay. Because that is where the problem lies, in banditry, in every problem we're having, even in oil theft, everything. Our borders are badly manned.
The problem is not even whether our borders are badly manned or goodly manned or whatever English wants us to speak here. The truth is that our territorial states are not quite defined. Let me tell you, for example.
But we have it.
No, let me tell you, just within Edo and Delta here, there's no boundary. It's still one bend, still one Midwest. If you go to Koko, when you go to the Benin River, where you have the Jos and the Shekiri, part of them are in Edo State. Are you sure? You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I'm talking about
if it is true,
like the Ologbo Bridge.
If it is true, why not let them join with their king and king so that we will not be crisscrossing? So there are many people who are Nigerians are living in Niger Republic. And there are many Niger people who are living in Nigeria. It is their same ground. We follow Igbo too much. These people called Jokuns. This is their territorial, that's inheritance forever. That's their ancestral land. And you divide it into part and Niger. And they go to the same mosque. And you want to man which border? That's the problem. They are brothers and sisters. They must visit each other. They must cross. Why not define it and make sure the whole tribe belongs to this country? So this tribe belongs to this country. Just as we have now, everybody believes that Ishakiri and Joy are in data. You have caused their brother to be in Edo. So and you want to mark that border, which border? You tell somebody, okay, let us say the village is Agbo. You tell some Agbo villagers who are in data not to enter Edo, to see his wife, to see his children who are in school there. You're wasting your time. Our borders are not defined. That is the problem. Because when we say Niger Republic and the people coming to bring Boko Haram, they are your brothers. They speak your language. They don't speak English when they come here. Both them and their fellow outside brothers, they could speak the same language, attend the same mosque, have the same tradition.
So they have more closer affinity than to the nation.
Exactly, that you talk. The man who is coming from Niger has a brother right there in Sokoto, has a brother right there in Kaduna, than the man who is in Esaland, who doesn't even know how to speak Hausa, and then you say they're in the same country. You should define your borders. So when you hear about say 104 is not guided, couldn't you have supplied? You know, when they leave for they see the problem. When they are there, they don't see it. Who would have questioned if we are sending those soldiers to man those borders? But what the border was supposed to man? And those are people who use keke, okada to cross and sell small things, maybe carry gun for some people. That is not the issue of Nigeria. The issue of Nigeria are those big thieves who hire machinery to come and kill us so that they distract us from governance. With the moment there's a killing now in the Okrekuku, and nobody's talking whether Sheriff is doing well again in government house. That's the distraction they are giving you. The local problem is not between poor farmers who exchange their donkeys and carry their camel up and down. That's not it. Don't distract us. The major problem is you, big man who is so insatiable, who is greedy. That is it. If our borders are porous, yes, after all, ECO has even allowed to be porous. They're not.
Yeah.
ECO has allowed you to move
ECO
freely.
has signing. Yeah.
Yes. It's allowed, you are free to trek from here down to Mali. It's allowed. To Gambia.
So should we not have a rethink on that very signing?
No. What we should have done, if we must, we should learn to define our territorial
properly.
Yes. So when it's not defined, okay, you are a Benin man, I'm a Benin man, and then there's a boundary between me and you that I cannot come and see you now, Chris.
Okay,
we're not there every day.
Okay, well, please, we're not showing so. But let's quickly go on the break. We'll come back and talk more on this very issue as we look at different approach to deal with the issue of insecurity. We need to go on a break now.